Good morning and welcome to another Tuesday tour. It's John Sautter along with Michael Fairchild making his debut as our production team, all from the Purdue Alumni Association, bringing you another Tuesday tour. You're seeing this the Tuesday before spring break. And so this coming Saturday, the Stews and all of us get a well-deserved break from campus. And so we're all looking forward to that. We're coming to you today from the west lobby of Stewart Center. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Stewart Center, RB Stewart, for whom it's named, and actually the beautiful mural behind us. I suspect this area right through here is one of the most traveled areas on campus, and I suspect you've been through here many times, maybe walked right by the mural, thinking someday I'm going to stop and look at that. Well, today's your chance to do that as we're going to talk a little bit about some of the symbolism up there. So, Stewart Center opened in 1958. Originally, it was the Memorial Union Annex, became the Memorial Center, and eventually Stewart Center. It's the conference center for our campus. We have 550 rooms with theaters, meeting places, art galleries, all those sorts of things. Purdue's conference and adult education business is one of the top 20 in the country in terms of professional development. And so quite busy all the time here in Stewart Center, with a lot of student organizational offices downstairs. A lot of students, again, coming through, going down to the student offices downstairs. And so a very busy place named for Stewart, RB Stewart up here. RB Stewart was our chief financial officer from 1925 to 1961. A genius when it came to higher education financing. In fact, Ruth Freehafer in her book on him says that in the opinion of many, he had the single greatest impact on the destiny and philosophy of Purdue of any person in university history. And in fact, he even had a national impact. He was one of the founders, one of the major contributors to writing the GI Bill for veterans to go back to school. And perhaps one of his last major contributions to the university was Westwood. He built a residence just west of campus. And when he retired, he donated that to the university. He thought it was time for the university president to live closer to campus. And so Art and Nancy Hansen lived there as the first president close to campus. Otherwise, they lived across town in Lafayette, I think on 7th Street, and a variety of places not close to campus. And so that was his major donation. Just a major contributor to the enormous success that we had. I can tell you it's one of the reasons I came to Purdue, because of the way he had set up campus housing and the financial structure of that operation. And so RB Stewart fondly thought of, and so it's so appropriate to name the Stewart Center after him. So now we're going to start walking our way down the lobby, and over Michael's shoulders are the box offices. These are the box offices where you pick up tickets for all the performing theaters on campus. So from Low Playhouse to Fowler Auditorium to the Hall of Music to even Mallet Theater, you can pick up tickets and get them right through here. Behind me is the entrance to the Humanities, Social Science, Education Library, one of the larger libraries on campus. We have about a dozen or so libraries spread across campus, but this is one of the major ones. You can actually get tech support here, and so that's where we have revolved to today. And in terms of finding the book that you want, or the articles, or all those things for the variety of papers that you might need. I also might mention that if you go into the library and back to the right, that's where you catch the elevator for our archives up on the 4th floor. And we've done a previous Tuesday tour on the archives, but it's our answer to a museum on campus. They always have interesting displays, but you go through the Humanities, Social Science and Education, HISSE library, get to that elevator and up you go. In this area, some of you might remember the Robert Ringgold Art Gallery used to be located here. That's actually down around the corner, has more space, and now this has been converted into a reading room, for the library. And as we get to the end of the lobby, we approach Low Playhouse. Low Playhouse, our 1,000-seat auditorium on campus. It was given to the university by Bert and June Loeb in honor of their father Solomon, who was a successful businessman in town. Loeb Fountain also came from that same family, and a very popular place. It's a great size for a lot of the events that we have on campus in Loeb Playhouse. You might even notice the sign still there that says Experimental Theater. Experimental Theater was actually 2 floors below. It was a small theater in the round, about 100 seats, and I've been to several productions there, but they stopped using that in around 2005 or so, and use that same approach now in the Powell Visual Arts Building and so other places on campus. But again, all part of Stewart Center. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the mural itself. The mural is called The Spirit of the Land-Grant College. It was done by artist Eugene Savage, who has an interesting background. He's actually from Covington, Indiana, and he developed a specialty in mural painting. And so he ended up teaching that course at Yale University, where he taught it for over 20 years. And there's a mural at Yale, there's a mural in Columbia University, there's several murals in Eastern Europe that he actually put together. And so in 1961, when RB Stewart was ready to retire, he and Lillian, his wife, along with Walter Scholler and his wife Alice, donated the funds. It was a great space, they wanted to fill it, and they came up with the concept of a mural, got a hold of Eugene Savage, and this is kind of what they came up with. Spirit of the Land-Grant College. And so we'll talk about this in 5 panels, actually. So the first panel has to do with the state of agriculture and technology in the 19th century. So in the 1800s, you can see the farmers are toiling in the field. There's horse-drawn wagons and that sort of thing, representing agriculture and not much technology at that particular point. But as we progress, you start seeing the students walking up towards the robed figure representing education. And here we have Abraham Lincoln. 1862, Abraham Lincoln signs the Morrill Act. The Morrill Act establishes land-grant colleges in every university, in every state across the country, meaning that it needs to focus on agriculture and mechanical arts or engineering. And so it really changed the whole concept of education. In fact, that Senator Morrill right there from Vermont, observing Lincoln as he's signing the act. And then we have the robed figure representing education, pulling back the black curtain of ignorance. And the students are starting to pass by. And starting at that point, then we start seeing the benefits of the Land Grant Act and of the Land Grant College. And so the first, what we see represents agriculture. And some of the things in agriculture, you see the lab technician. And so now we're getting into really discovery and research, which really hadn't been talked about or done much with prior to this point. But now just about every university started having discovery and research in their mission statement, and it really kind of started at this particular point for agriculture and technology, soon to be called mechanical arts and then engineering. And as we progress, you start seeing additional benefits. We see different forms of electricity, different forms of energy, and there you see men on a generator representing that. And behind that, then you start seeing a rocket ship go up, and you start seeing science in this particular area. You may recall that Sputnik went up in '57, and the United States followed that with Explorer 1 in '58, and so the whole area of space exploration was just beginning at this particular point. So we start seeing rockets and missiles and all that sort of thing as he was finishing this in 1960, 1961 or so. We also then see the liberal arts represented with the lyre representing the music area. We see theatrical masks, the performing theater. We see Janus, the Roman god, looking in both directions, which represents transition. And then we see a figure representing truth stepping on the mask of falsehood up there as part of some of the benefits of Land Grant College. And we progress more and we see more benefits in terms of heavy emphasis on research, discovery, ultimately ending with a ship with a wonderful name of abundance. And so you see abundance in terms of goods and products and things being developed as a result of the Land Grant College. Just a great representation, hundreds of figures up here. A lot of this wording I got from interpretations. You could look at this many times and see other symbols up there of all the things representing the Land Grant College and the benefits it afforded our students. And Purdue, we can say today in 2020, has really led the pack when it comes to being a world-class research university, and it really kind of all started and well represented with this mural. So we hope you get back maybe to see the mural again and put some meaning to it and see some other things within it. But it's been kind of fun to kind of relive that moment here in one of the busier places. You probably keep hearing the doors slam behind you as the students are going to class here. But it's been fun doing this one on behalf of Michael. Nice going on your debut. And we're glad to have this Tuesday tour available for you. And we look forward to the next one. Hail Purdue.